Just like with other components, we can use session variables along with the list view to populate certain variables from the list view and use them in Visio or the other way around. A lot of them will involve things like booking properties or certain things from booking or the edit mode from the list view. These are two things that we won't cover in this course, so I won't cover these session variables either. We can, however, cover one of the most frequently used ones, namely the ID of the current selection. If we take a look at our Visio file and we grab our component, we can add a shape data component options, and we can, for instance, define a session variable prefix. Now this prefix will allow us to set a certain value as the prefix for our session variables, which will mean that you can use multiple list views next to each other to populate different variables. Otherwise, if you populate one variable, it will propagate to the next list view and it will take on that variable as well, and both of them will push changes. So if you want them to be unique, you define a session variable prefix and you set it to a certain value. These will then be prefixed in front of your actual session variable name. The next thing I want to do is actually show my session variable. I'll first add some simple text to show the current selection. And I know I want an element, so let's use my session variable to actually show an element shape of my selection. Well, make shape right here. Put an asterisk in it so I can see the name. And I'll define an element shape data. And now we need to use our variable placeholder to show or to be replaced by the value of our current selection. So don't forget your prefix first of all. So components visio underscore is what I entered. And then we want the name of the variable that will be populated, namely ID of selection. So now this part will be replaced by the ID of the selection of my list view. I will also add the shape data info with value name so that I can show the name where my asterisk is here. I'll save this. Now I have no selection and of course no element shape, and I can just click one and you can see it immediately shows me a shape that is linked to DMA info, and I can navigate to the element through here, for instance. So let your imagination run wild. There's a lot that you can do with this, and as always, session variables are one of the most used things in these components. If you want more info on the list view, on certain syntax and things like that, don't forget to access the help. Also know that I will be adding this Visio file to the training material, so you can find them normally attached to this training, and you'll be able to view the several shape data that I have defined throughout this course.